you're lifting because your dad wants you to lift.
Mm-hmm.
And then when did you get into wrestling? And then when in wrestling did you say, hey, this is something I really want to excel at?
Yeah, so my first actual season of wrestling, quote, season, I say quote because it was in middle school, but we didn't have really a solidified program, but we did like actually go to wrestling practice and go to tournaments and stuff. But then I remember going to high school practice my first time and learning like a front headlock, and I was like, why were we not?
What grade did you say?
What's up?
What grade?
I started wrestling in 8th grade, technically.
8th grade.
But I consider my first season my freshman year, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so 8th grade, basically 7th grade I went out for the basketball team, and I made the basketball team.
Hey, all right.
But I also rode the bench the whole season.
Okay.
I did score 18 points in that season, though, so I hit a three-pointer from like 3 feet behind the line.
Can you make buckets or what?
Back then, actually, I was halfway decent,
Yeah.
Yeah, my claim to fame more recently is Matt Olson, my little brother, who's a big basketball fan.
Yeah.
When we went to New Jersey and we're in the arcade, I came back from like an 18-point deficit on the little arcade basketball thing, and I nailed like 10 shots in a row. And
back 7th grade bench.
Yeah. After that, I'll show you. My claim to fame with that is that I actually made the team over kids that had been playing basketball most of their lives, and I mostly just made it because I was kind of aggressive and getting rebounds and stuff, and I had some athleticism. But anyways, after riding the bench for the whole season and seeing like maybe 30 seconds a game, I remember watching the wrestlers wrestle that season and looking in the room, and I'm like, that looks kind of fun. So basically, Irving was one of those people in 7th grade, and he was still my best friend at the time. So I asked him, is wrestling something that's fun? Or like, do you think I could do it? And he encouraged me to actually try it.
Right.
So then 8th grade came around. I went out for the team. I enjoyed it a lot, mostly due to the fact that some of my martial arts background as from a kid, it was somewhat similar, like body control and stuff like that. And I got like whatever second in conference that year, but I was still more dedicated to football. So I actually missed state for a football game. So you can see I didn't really take wrestling super seriously at the time.
Right.
Because I still thought football was a passion of mine. I got to Ridge my freshman year, found out what football is really like, at least at that high school, which now I'm grateful for because it's paved the way for who I am now. But at the time, I was really into football. I was really looking to playing football my freshman year. Didn't like the majority of people that I was around. And I didn't even think I wanted to wrestle in high school because I heard about how much harder it is in high school than it is in middle school. Right. And but then after a crappy football season as a freshman, I was like, well, what am I going to do? Am I just going to keep playing for the school, be around people that I don't like, people that talk shit and all these different things? And I remember going into my dad's room the day before the wrestling team started training, and he's like, well, just give it a shot, and if you like it, then stick with it. If you don't, it's okay. Just, you tried it. And I went there, and the practice was really hard, but there's something actually rewarding about it to me. And I also appreciated the fact that you actually had to earn your spot. There was no politics in it. You either win your spot or you don't. And that was really appealing to me at the time. So after my freshman year, wrestling on varsity, winning half my matches, on the online rankings, they had me as the top freshman in my weight class. And although that doesn't necessarily mean much, to me it meant, well, maybe if I work really hard at this and keep this pace going, maybe I could win like state my senior year. And seeing that I had potential for a level of greatness like that at the time was very motivating to me. So that's why I dedicated the next 4 years of my life to wrestling. And then it just bled into everything I'm doing now. Yeah.
Right.